Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at just how good Gamma 2 does in the Broly red zone. So this is going to be a video basically taking a look at just how good Gamma 2 is and how he does in the red zone. Obviously Gamma 2 as many people know, is a very good unit, and so it's going to be interesting to see how he does in this event. Now, he is pretty good in most red zones. He can have a very high raw level of defense, but he doesn't necessarily have much else going for him. So he doesn't have damage reduction, he doesn't have evasion, he doesn't have guard against all types. He's a huge damage dealer, so we're going to be measuring him on the basis of can he take a normal and can he dish out damage. As long as he can do those two things at 55%, then he's going to be an excellent choice for the AGL Broly end fight, but this whole Broly red zone, he's going to be a very top tier choice. Now obviously, just to kind of recap very briefly, we need to discuss his abilities. So as a unit, he and Gamma 1 are incredibly good units. He leads movie heroes, androids, and special pose category units with Ki +3 and HP attack and defense of 170%. He also gives 30% extra defense and attack and HP to accelerated battle or worthy rivals category units. He raises his attack and defense for 1 turn on his super attack, and this passive he will activate the entrance animation upon entry once only. That is indeed what you saw. And he will also have defense plus 50% and launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a medium chance of becoming a super attack for 4 turns from the start of turn. He has attack and defense of 150% plus an additional attack of 100% when performing a super attack. He has an additional attack and defense of 20% up to 100% and chance of performing a critical hit 10% up to 50% with each attack performed. He also launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack starting from the turn in which the character performs the 5th attack in battle. All allies get Ki +2 and attack of 30%, and he has a high chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks that are directed at the character. So we're going to run him on a movie bosses team. Sorry, movie heroes team. Say movie bosses. We're running him on a movie heroes team. My movie heroes team is going to be led by the AGL, Super Saiyan, Goku, and Vegeta. And then we are also going to obviously have a couple powerful units in here. We're going to have the Tech LR Gogeta. We're going to have the Tech Super Saiyan Goku. We're also going to obviously have AGL Gamma himself and the Tech God Goku, and then we're also going to have the Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta. Overall, generally speaking, in the Broly event, Tech type units do the best due to the fact that they don't have type disadvantage. One interesting thing about Gamma is going to be that he will struggle actually a little bit against this Tech phase if you don't build his defense up just enough. You're going to see him here get a couple super attacks off, and he's going to tank some attacks from Broly. Now Broly Tech doesn't hit necessarily massively hard, but he does hit quite hard, and with type advantage it is understandable that he will do a little bit of damage, at least to a 55% Gamma. It's very important also to understand that Gamma doesn't have necessarily any of his major links active. If you had him synced up, for example, with Gamma 1, he and Gamma 1 share quite a few links, and some crucial links as well. They share Android Assault, they share Red Ribbon Army, they share Shocking Speed, and they share Signature Pose. Those 3 links altogether give them a huge number of boosts, and basically are going to give them a large amount of defense. So they don't necessarily have those, so it is important to remember that when you are evaluating just how well Gamma 2 does. For me personally, I think he does great anyway. but it is just important that he will obviously gain quite a large chunk of defense if he was to be paired with Gamma 1. So yeah, Gamma 2, Gamma 1, both a very clinical pairing, but it's fun to see how well they do without the other one in the rotation. As you can see here, we are doing a pretty good job against Broly. We have a very strong team, BB Heroes obviously being a well-equipped team to tackle things like Broly, and just in general the Broly event. So pretty nice stuff overall. And yeah, I think Gamma 2 does do a fairly solid job. You will see him take a little bit of damage, because that does tend to happen. And yeah, obviously, the type disadvantage is a little bit of a thing. I think if he doesn't get multiple super attacks, he does take a little bit of damage from Broly, but it's not necessarily too bad. It's not, huge levels of damage, and he is only at 55%, no good links active. So yeah, and this is possibly his most dangerous phase. I would say the AGL phase, obviously, he doesn't necessarily have the, full levels of damage that his brother has, or damage reduction that his brother has. Here you can see 95k, by the way, when we don't get 3 supers, so that is noticeable. But yeah, genuinely speaking, he does lack that kind of damage reduction, additional defensive capability his brother has, but the crit chances will extrapolate his damage quite significantly. So yeah, we just skipped ahead to the ending of the strength phase. This is a phase where Gamma 2 shines quite strongly. Fighting strength Broly is always a bit of an issue, because strength Broly does an AoE super, so you want to get out of this phase super quickly. Now units like the AGL Gamma 2 really help out with that, due to the excessive amounts of damage that he's going to be able to put out. So if you watch him here, he's going to take out pretty much a third of Broly, all on his own, which is fantastic. Obviously, at 55%, it's very impressive. And this level of damage is really what brings him as a strong unit. This ability to kind of just continually, knock the enemy down and get you through phases is a very big part of why people like using Gamma 2. So obviously now we move on to the AGL phase. I've skipped ahead a little bit so that there's no items active in this phase whatsoever. So we obviously want to take a look at just how well he's going to do. I've also now stuck him in the final slot so that we can see how well his defense does. He is fully built up at this stage, but he has no major links active whatsoever. And yeah, basically we just want to get a good look at how well Gamma 2 tanks Broly's attacks without any items active. And once we can see how well he tanks that, then we've pretty much seen everything we need to see. It's really realistically a pretty solid time overall. I think for me, Gamma 2 is definitely a unit that you can use to beat this event. I think he's very strong. Does he hard carry the event? Not at 55%. But I do think if you could find a rainbow one, even without the perfect link partner, his damage would be exceptional. And he would actually probably have high enough defense to realistically be an option to consider tanking. You can see here just how much damage he's doing, which is great. And he takes 90k, so it's not too bad. With a dupe, he would take single digits, and yeah, I think that overall pretty much sums up just how good he is. But yeah, for me, I personally think he did a great job. Obviously, you guys can let me know how you found him to look, just running the active skill here, because not a lot of people get to see it. And yeah, basically I think he's an exceptional unit. Like I said, he's not going to solo win you the event, 55%. But with a dupe in him, he's definitely going to be a very, very crucial damage dealer and pretty reliable second slot tank for normal attacks on this event and on most red zone events. I think he does pretty well in most of them. He may struggle against Bojack just due to the type advantage, with Bojack being predominantly a tech type unit. But that is pretty much going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.